Because we don't get to enjoy NBA basketball that should be going on right now, I guess it's time to look at the next wave of guys coming to the league. In this video, I'm going to look at 5 draft scenarios that everyone should want to see. So if you guys like my content, make sure you like and subscribe. Let's try to get 20 likes on today's video, and let's hop into it. We're going to start it off with a team that's been talked about a lot when it comes to the 2020 draft, the Golden State Warriors. This is obviously because they still have the main pieces of that 73-9 team, but because of a lot of injuries, including their star duo, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, they currently hold one of the worst records in the league. This means they're almost guaranteed a top selection in the upcoming draft. Now, this isn't the best draft, but regardless, it makes the future for the Warriors very interesting. Now, there's definitely a lot of trade scenarios for the Warriors that involve this first round pick, but in today's video, we're going to look at the scenario that they make a selection, specifically that they select a top big man in the draft. And there's 2 prospects that sit atop the rest, James Wiseman and Onyeka Okongwu. Wiseman is a 7'1" center with a limitless ceiling. His frame is the obvious draw that, combined with his athleticism, makes him the potential top pick. He doesn't go without concern. He only got to play 3 games in college, forcing these Twitter draft experts to analyze his first 3 games with a microscope. Yes, he hasn't shown much to get excited about as a shooter, as a decision maker, and maybe not the versatility on defense we really wanted to see. But again, we don't have much to go on. At the very least, we know what he projects to be as a rim protector and rim runner, which is exciting considering all the pieces the Warriors will have back next season. Then there's Onyeka Okongwu, a guy that's been gaining a lot of attention lately. I like Onyeka. He's a 6'9" big with a 7'1" wingspan. He averaged 16 points, 9 rebounds, over a steal, and almost 3 blocks as a freshman at USC. He projects to be an elite defender going into the future, but he's not a bulletproof prospect either. He hasn't shown much floor spacing ability and shouldn't come with expectations to ever be much of a volume scorer. The one thing that does make me a skeptic of Onyeka's draft stock is that it's been helped greatly by the breakout season of his consistent comparison, Bam Adebayo. Without Bam's success, I really don't think he's getting the attention that he has gotten. Bam is the best case scenario, and we can't assume that's what a team's getting with Onyeka. Regardless, he's an amazing prospect and likely a guy the Warriors have their eye on. Unlike some, I don't think this decision is obvious, but whichever one it is, I'm excited about the potential of them playing a role on a team that could be back to contending at the top of the league next year. I think it's safe to say it would be fun to see a lineup of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, I guess Andrew Wiggins for now, Draymond Green, and one of these top rookie bigs. I think the craziest scenario in this draft would be the New Orleans Pelicans drafting Lamelo Ball, reuniting him with his brother Lonzo. We've seen brothers play together in the NBA, such as the Morris twins and Lopez brothers now, but we've never seen 2 brothers of this caliber playing together. Lonzo was the 2nd overall pick back in 2017, and it looks like Lamelo will be a top 5 selection in June. Now, this scenario isn't extremely likely, but definitely not impossible. Right now, they sit with the 13th best odds in the lottery, giving them a 1.2% chance at the number 1 pick and a 5.7% chance at a top 4 spot. Now, this is subject to change if we see the regular season resume before the draft, as the Pelicans were making a run for the 8th seed before the season was put on hold. But assuming they stay put, it's unlikely that they can move up to the top of the draft, but not impossible. The Cavs went up to number 1 back in 2011 to take Kyrie Irving with just a 2.8% chance. The Bulls got Derrick Rose back in 2008, which is a 1.7% chance. The frequency we see this in the lottery is almost suspicious. There's a lot of scenarios where the Pelicans can get Lamelo. Like we talked about, the luck could be in their favor the night of the draft lottery. They could jump up to the mid-lottery and Lamelo could slip. They could use this first-round pick packaged with other assets, such as next year's first, as well as the Lakers' first, to trade up. Now, I can't see the Pelicans going out of their way to get Lamelo, but maybe LeVar could work some magic. While this is by far the coolest scenario for draft night, it's really not a great basketball fit. Lonzo's a true point guard that runs the offense in New Orleans, and really well at that, especially since Zion Williamson's debut. It's hard to picture how a ball-dominant player like Lamelo would fit alongside Lonzo at the NBA level, but they are brothers that have played together a majority of their lives, so them figuring it out is not out of the question. Lamelo also has the benefit of a 6'7" frame that gives him a lot of positional flexibility. If both the brothers continue to improve off ball, this duo could be scary. And if they actually manage to get both of them, they might as well give that 13th spot to LiAngelo Ball. The next scenario I have is pretty likely and one I really want to see. I'm talking about Tyrese Halliburton going to the Phoenix Suns. Now, who is Tyrese Halliburton? He's a 6'5" point guard with a 7-foot wingspan. He came onto the scene this season as a sophomore with his impact on both ends and remarkable scoring efficiency. He averaged 15 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and almost 3 steals, shooting 50% from the field and 42% from 3 on over 5 attempts a game. I don't think he'll ever be a #1 option, but I'm still very excited about his potential. His impact on the defensive end is extremely noticeable, and while his shot mechanics make me slightly concerned, to this point, he's been an efficient scorer and clearly a gifted passer. He's currently one of my favorite prospects in this draft, and I really like the fit with the Phoenix Suns. Ricky Rubio has been a solid point guard for them, but he is not the long-term option. The team has benefited from not forcing Devin Booker into a primary playmaker role, and I think Halliburton would be the perfect partner for him in the backcourt. His strengths are Booker's weaknesses. He can defend the best opposing backcourt matchup and can be the playmaker this team needs. The point guard spot has been a hole for this team for a while now, and this could be the year that they look to the draft to address it. A lot of mocks have them taking guys like Cole Anthony, but it doesn't take a genius to see that's not quite a great fit for this team. This team doesn't need to find more scoring. They need a defensive-minded guard that can run the offense and score with high efficiency. With the Suns having the 10th best odds at the top pick and Halliburton projected to be a mid-lottery selection, it's far from unlikely this could really happen, and man, do I want to see it. The next scenario gets projected quite frequently, and that's Georgia shooting guard Anthony Edwards going to the Atlanta Hawks. Edwards finished high school as a top-ranked player and likely top 3 pick, and it looks like that's going to be the case. He's got an NBA-ready frame, standing at 6'5", 225 pounds with a 6'9" wingspan. He's got striking similarities to Indiana Pacers guard Victor Oladipo, with his potential to be a two-way star at the NBA level. Edwards averaged 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists as a freshman. Now, he wasn't the most efficient player we've ever seen, shooting 40% from the field and 29% from 3, but it doesn't take you too long to realize that this shouldn't hold him back from going at the top of this draft. His combination of attacking the rim at an elite level with a plethora of moves beyond the perimeter gets me excited about his ceiling, and I think Atlanta just might be the perfect landing spot. This team has its franchise player with Trae Young, but it's still very unclear who the second and third options are going to be down the line, given the questionable future of John Collins with this team. They've put in an effort to bring in more defense with Clint Capella and DeAndre Hunter, and I think adding Edwards to the mix would be pretty seamless. Defensively, he can give a lot of help to Trae, and I think offensively, Trae would benefit greatly from a secondary ball handler. I don't think it's the best for any and all things on the court for the Hawks to run through Trae. I think one of the most important things in his development is being able to play off ball, similar to what we've seen with Steph Curry. If the Hawks can pull this off, which is pretty likely given that their projected landing spot and Edwards' projected landing spot is pretty aligned, man, would I have a lot of confidence in this team's future. I can't guarantee who it would be, but out of Edwards, Hunter, and Reddish, I can almost guarantee they can find an all-star partner for Trae. The last scenario involves a player that's not very well known in Aaron Naismith going to a contender. I've had my eye on Naismith for a while now, as he's from my hometown, but he's really jumped onto the national stage this year as a sophomore and is projected to be a mid to late first round selection. He's a 6'6" forward from Vanderbilt that, without an injury that cut his season short, might be in the conversation for a lottery selection. In 13 games, he put up some of the craziest efficiency we've ever seen. He averaged 23 points and 5 rebounds, shooting 51% from the field and 52% from 3 on over 8 attempts a game. Not the craziest sample size, but if we're going to analyze Wiseman's 3 games like it represents his whole freshman season, we better be giving Naismith the credit he deserves. He just might be the best perimeter shooter in this draft. He's a solid defender, but not a crazy athlete, which will limit his ceiling on that end, but is built for the modern game. Right now he plays the 4, but could transition to the 3 spot. I don't think his offensive ceiling is extremely high, but he's one of the safest selections in this draft, and the potential for a contender to grab someone that could be an amazing 3-and-D player off the bat is pretty scary. Right now, most mocks have him going between the 20th and 30th pick, where teams like the Nuggets, Sixers, Heat, Jazz, Celtics, and Bucks all sit. Again, You're not going to hear his name a lot leading up to the draft process, but he's one of my early favorites to be the steal of the draft. But that's the end of the video, guys. You guys tell me your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like the video, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and the shoutouts are gonna be Snipes, Howard, Jake, Jack, and Rain. If you guys want to shout out in the next video, all you gotta do is like the video and comment liked or rep notification squad, and I'll shout 5 of you guys out. Go check out my other channels, links are in the description, and peace.